Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's talk about your weather forecast here. We've got a big warm-up heading our way as we go throughout the rest of this week, heading into the upcoming weekend. Along with that big warm-up, it's going to be dry, folks. We're going to be drying things out across the area. It's a slight chance of some rain in some spots later today, but after that, it's pretty much a dry forecast here for us, including right now it's looking pretty dry as we get into your Memorial Day forecast as well. Out there this morning, we're starting off with freeze warnings in effect for portions of the West Desert over towards the western Uintas as well. And that just means that we've got some chilly temperatures, primarily in some of the outlying areas, but still, we're noticing it in some of our cities as well. 29 degrees right now in Panguitch. It's 22 in Bryce Canyon, 30 degrees in Bryan Head, 30 in Beaver, 31 in Marysville. So, yeah, some temperatures flirting with or dropping well below that freezing mark. It's 30 in Schofield this morning, 33 degrees, so flirting with the freezing mark there in Price, 37 in Manti, 34 Gunnison, and 35 degrees currently down towards the south. So look at your temperatures across the state. Notice the northern half of the state, there's a patch of green showing up, and that's because we've got some cloud cover that's out there. Those clouds helping to keep those temperatures up into the 40s across the northern half of the state. Meanwhile, across central and southern sections, we're seeing those temperatures that are in the 30s. As we go throughout today, we've got 60s showing up for Cache Valley. But other than that, everybody else getting into the 70s and even some 80s showing up out there as we see some warmer air beginning to kind of filter on into the area. As we look at the weather map here, our storm system that brought us the active inclement weather is still producing lots of crazy weather over towards the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee valleys. But for us, we are slowly drying things out. I say slowly because there's still a weak disturbance that's kind of hanging on to the extreme northern half of the state. So while radar's trying to spit out a little precipitation now, that's not reaching the ground. But later today, that trend could change in some of these areas. Right now, the air is very dry. Dew points to measure moisture in the air in the upper 20s and 30s in many spots. We even got some teens down towards the south. So as we go throughout this afternoon, that upper level disturbance may spark off a couple of isolated downpours here, primarily well to the north of the Ogden Valley. As you get up towards Logan, over towards Park Valley, that may extend into southwest Wyoming during the evening hours. So basically here along and north of the I-80 corridor as you get up towards Cache Valley and over in the southwest Wyoming. Otherwise, after that, it's really about dry conditions and that ridge of high pressure building in. There's a weak front that'll try to come through by the end of the week, but it'll come through dry, and that'll continue our warming trend. So as we look at your upper level futurecast, very warm air in place across the region through the end of the work week. Brief little disturbance this weekend will try to level off the warm up, but then it continues as we head into next week, just because we've got this big dome of high pressure. So right now, Memorial Day weekend looking warm and primarily dry. Low 80s for the Wasatch Front, mid 90s across southwest Utah with all that sunshine. And right now, Memorial Day looking pretty good with sunshine and warm conditions out there. Mid 80s along the Wasatch Front, upper 90s across southwest Utah. All right, we're looking at upper 80s for your Tuesday, low to mid to upper 90s as we get towards the end of the work week, and then we'll be in the mid 90s as we head into the weekend, heading into next week. The Wasatch Front, we're looking at low 70s today with just a slight chance of a pop-up shower. Otherwise, we're in the low 80s by the end of the week. And again, a mainly dry forecast, especially after we get past this afternoon.